If it weren't for TikTok, I probably wouldn't go through these steps because I have a wonderful life with you and I don't feel the need to be diagnosed. And I think that's how it is for a lot of people with DID because it's, one, expensive, two, it's very time consuming, and depending on where you live, it can take years to get diagnosed. And I don't know how long my journey will take.
Back in the late 2010s and early 2020s, a TikTok user called Souls One Bod blew up online after claiming to have dissociative identity disorder, or DID. They portrayed themselves as a romantic duo, Jessie and James, sharing one physical body, describing it as two people in love living in one person. Their content showed quick switches between Jessie's female voice and James's male voice, often talking to each other in videos.
I know we're a little tired, but you want to show them that we can kiss?
Oh yeah. You should show them that.
Do it again.
That was just a light peck. Yeah, it was just a light peck, dude. Sorry, my lips are dry. No, it's okay. It's fine.
Oh man, smooth Han Solo. All right.
First, if you guys could please leave a comment down below saying hello, I'll reply to every single one of you. Yes, I really mean that. And it helps push these types of videos into the algorithm. Help showing the world who these people really are. They played into pop culture references, like comparing themselves to Garnet from Steven Universe, a character who is literally a fusion of two people, and later created a custom anime-style couple avatar as their brand. This concept of a romantic couple sharing one body, paired with mentions of Tourette's tics and other conditions, fascinated viewers and helped them build a massive...
What's this about? Because you're throwing me off the body here.
Okay. This channel is about learning to love yourself while having DID, and also learning to love the other people that you share DID with, which is what I like to call my soulmate.
However, beneath the surface, the Souls One Bod story was a house of lies. Over the course of a few years, this TikTok persona was exposed as a fraud, not only faking DID and other conditions for clout, but engaging in scams and inappropriate conduct that harmed fans and minors. In real psychiatry, DID is rare and almost always rooted in extreme, repeated childhood trauma. Diagnostic manuals and treatment guidelines describe involuntary switches that emerge under stress and are often followed by memory gaps, not party trick timing on command. Health neuroimaging shows measurable changes in brain state when genuine patients transition, and those shifts are exhausting enough that most people with DID experience only a handful in an entire therapy session, not dozens per minute. Triggers can include flashbacks, sensory cues, or strong emotion, never a countdown for a TikTok punchline. Jessie and James failed every clinical yardstick. Early videos insisted they had no childhood trauma. Then, when questioned, a vague abuse narrative materialized overnight, only to morph again in livestream Q&As. They bragged that James was simultaneously Jessie's father and brother in a past life, a storyline that sounded more like fan fiction than dissociation. Viewers also caught the pair directing their own switches in leaked voice chats. Jessie literally cues James with "your turn, do the voice," before the deeper register appears. For clinicians and real DID systems, that voluntary precision was the smoking gun. No amnesia, no loss of executive control, no credibility. Once skeptics knew what to look for, the facade cracked quickly. Members of the mental health side of TikTok stitched the most theatrical clips and slowed them down, proving the voices were just two practiced accents. A subreddit sprang up to archive contradictions, including timestamps where Jessie debunked herself in real time. Meanwhile, commentary YouTubers like Repzilla and Miserable Hyrule Gamer ran deep dive exposés, highlighting how the duo's switches always lined up with punchline beats or donations donation prompts during live streams. By late 2021, licensed therapists interviewed by these channels publicly labeled the performance malingered DID, a conscious fabrication for attention and money. The motive soon became obvious. Rapid-fire switching pulled in views. Views drove virtual gifts, Patreon pledges, and traffic to Jessie's separate adult content streams. Every exaggerated tick or sudden voice drop translated into coins pouring across the screen. When donations slowed, the altars surfaced faster, almost like a busker playing requests. That pattern, symptoms dialed up precisely when profitable, matched malingering profiles described in forensic case studies. Once forensic detail met public scrutiny, the backlash was swift. Genuine DID creators condemned the account for spreading misinformation that would haunt them in therapy rooms for years. TikTok eventually throttled the channel's reach, but the decisive blow was social. Viewers now recognized that real dissociation is messy, involuntary, and fundamentally unentertaining. When Jessie and James could no longer switch on cue without heckling in the comments, they deleted their TikTok and vanished. Proof that the gimmick only worked while the audience stayed naive. In hindsight, Souls One Bod's rise and fall reads like a textbook lesson. If an alleged disorder looks choreographed for social media virality, check the diagnostic basics. Real DID does not perform on demand, and anyone who claims it can is either gravely misinformed or, far more likely, selling a story they know is impossible. How a person pretending to have mental illnesses for fame was caught and ultimately held accountable for a trail of outrageous misdeeds. Long before TikTok, the individual behind Souls One Bod had alarming incidents in their past. Tristan, one of the two real first names behind the persona, had disturbing allegations from an anonymous family member, suggesting predatory behavior even in his earlier life. While details were not public, a team of concerned individuals later verified the family member's identity and testimony, which would become important evidence down the line.
Much of the discussion about this individual has focused on whether they are faking DID, but we believe that overlooks the biggest red flag, that Jessie Hart is using a false name and is linked to a readily accessible archive of explicit material, allowing her to reach vulnerable individuals and children. Whether intentional or not, she is promoting adult work to a large group of traumatized minors. When this is calmly pointed out, those who voice concerns are silenced, blocked, and then criticized by both Jessie and her moderation team.
In the late 2010s, Tristan was involved in a romantic relationship that, by all accounts, was highly toxic and turbulent. This relationship reportedly included a pregnancy and miscarriage, which deeply affected him. Around the same time, Tristan, who was an adult in his 30s, orchestrated what is now infamously known as the Giantess scam.
After the relationship ended, Annika tried to launch Giantess Love, a website where users could share, chat, upload, earn points, and purchase Giantess-themed clips. The site soon ran into serious problems. Similar to the current Discord server, Two Souls One server, operated by Jessie and James Hart, Annika claimed the site had been hacked. This was later shown to be untrue. She kept users' money and failed to pay most of the content creators for their work, then disappeared from the community. 3 months later, she posted an apology and bid a tearful farewell to the Giantess community.
He attempted to create a fetish content website called Giantess Love for people interested in Giantess fantasy material, where users could buy and share specialized clips. The venture turned into outright fraud. Tristan claimed the site was hacked, which was a lie, and he walked away with a lot of other people's money. Content creators and customers from that community were never paid what they were owed, effectively being scammed out of their earnings. Tristan disappeared from that scene after posting a tearful apology and farewell to the Giantess community, but crucially, he never repaid the losses he had caused. This episode established a pattern of deception and financial misconduct that would resurface later. Along with the scam, evidence emerged of bigoted online posts by Tristan during that era. In now deleted tweets, he reportedly used racist language, including referring to himself as a slave in a disturbingly flippant manner, and made other anti-black remarks. Community members who later compiled evidence labeled him a proven racist, anti-black person based on multiple instances of such behavior. These prejudiced comments, combined with the exploitative scam and inappropriate sexual behavior, painted a picture of someone with a history of unacceptable actions well before the TikTok persona ever existed. After the collapse of his prior relationship and schemes, Tristan essentially tried to reinvent himself. In a dramatic twist, he claimed that an alter ego or second soul named Annika had emerged, whom he bizarrely believed to be the spirit of his own unborn child, the one lost in the miscarriage. Tristan purportedly gave up his own identity, even saying he had perceived death for himself so that Annika could live her life through the shared body. In plainer terms, Tristan started presenting as if he had died and been replaced by Annika, a distinct female personality.
And the other thing is, like, when we hear disorder or the word disorder, we jump on it like, oh, it's a bad thing, or that it's disordering your life, that it's but it's actually the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, I wouldn't give it up for the world now that I have it. It's the coolest thing ever. It's completely changed my life for the better. And I'm so glad that I have. Like,
around this time, speculated to be after 2019, Annika claimed to have obtained an unofficial diagnosis of DID, though this diagnosis was unverified by any professionals or family. Friends and relatives had actually been urging psychological evaluation for years, but she avoided proper clinical diagnosis.
Oh my god. Well, guys, I think TikTok just has TikTok seems to, like, as a whole, really need to it seemed a little uppity. Like they're like a bunch of hornets just ready to pounce. I guess so. Oh.
Annika moved forward with transitioning the body to outwardly appear female and returned to sex work, now under the stage name Jessie Hart. This was described as part of her newfound life, though she was also grieving the loss of Tristan. Before long, Annika decided to symbolically bring Tristan back as well, introducing a male alter named James. Thus, by the early 2000s and 20s, the two personas Jessie, Annika, and James, Tristan, were established as a pair. They branded themselves as a unique DID system, two lovers inhabiting one body. The duo created accounts on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram under the joint handle, Two Souls, One Body.
Whoa, okay. So what's this channel about, James?
Alright, so this channel is about dissociative identity.
Should we trigger warn to the dissociation?
Dude, we dissociate so much that we're basically like a flashing.
Okay, don't watch this if you don't like dissociation.
Yeah, because we do it a lot.
We do it a lot. Anyway, guys, this channel, we're Jessie and James, to protect the world from devastation.
To unite all peoples within our nation.
Okay, but not the motto, because that's how we get. Looks like Team Rocket's busting up again. Bing. Okay, we don't want to do that.
No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to get binged.
No.
Are you like...
Yeah, I was thinking like the search engine, and then I was thinking what it's only good for.
I know. But that's inappropriate.
That's inappropriate. Hi everyone. We are Jessie and James, and we are here to give you reprieve.
It's just reprieve.
Okay. Reprieve from the hardship that is DID. Because let's be real, DID's a hard thing to live with, right? Trauma, therapy, complications, headmates, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. But we actually
are very fortunate in that we are a two-person system.
Yeah, I don't like the word.
I know. We don't like the terminology that everybody uses, but It's a word that describes things. And we are capable of instantaneous
switching.
Instantaneous switching.
Alright, it's weird when you do the hand thing. Alright, can I do the hand thing to you? Alright, here I go.
Hi, how's it going?
Alright. Okay. It works.
Well, I mean, we have to time it better.
Okay, so.
Dude, I just forget it. Look, we can do it instantly.
Alright, yeah, we don't need the hand.
Ooh, you know, I like this one too. Ready? Okay, so it's me, totally.
Okay, alright, that's pretty neat. Okay, so how do we...
Okay, so what's this about? Because you're throwing me off the body here. Okay. This channel is about learning to love yourself while having did. And also learning to love the other people that you shared it with, which is what I like to call my soulmate.
Oh, that's very sweet of you, Jessie.
Well, I'm your soulmate.
You're my soulmate.
And I'm your soulmate.
Which I like better than headmates, because it's a whole body thing. It's not just a head thing. It's not like it's just in your brain. It's two souls, two people, two consciousnesses in one body. And all those words, they're just clinical words. Really, honestly, for everyone. Life is what you make of it. That includes every person that is inside of you. Whether you have one or two or three or 100.
From the start, Two Souls, One Bod leaned heavily into Team Rocket references. Jessie and James were, of course, the villainous duo from Pokemon. They even claimed to have a pet cat named Meowth that speaks human English, mirroring the talking Meowth character in Pokemon. This blend of anime gaming pop culture with an alleged mental health condition was unusual and attention-grabbing.
Why are you guys...
Always laying down?
Yeah.
It makes you dysphoric to have the hair in your face.
Yeah, that's true. Meowth just said hungry.
What, are you hungry, buddy?
Yeah, he just said hungry. Yeah, see, hear him? He's saying hungry. Also, the dragon will eat us.
By mid-2021, Two Souls, One Bod's content exploded in popularity on TikTok. The novelty of two distinct personas swapping in and out on camera, often mid-sentence, was compelling to many viewers. Jessie Annika spoke in a higher feminine voice, while James Tristan had a lower masculine voice, and they would appear to switch back and forth in videos. They portrayed an intensely loving relationship. The two alters frequently professed love to each other, even kissed by switching control of the body, and discussed their lives as a couple. Crucially, Jessie and James did not just claim to have DID. They piled on additional purported diagnoses, Tourette's syndrome, saying they had tics, glitches, and even hinting at autism and ADHD traits.
Well, that's just it. Most people just tick. Like, remember all summer? I know. Since we didn't know that we were there, yeah, we just were like doing that all the time. And like rocking and stimming, and it was awful. We're not sure what's happening. Oh, yeah, that was a bit of one. Alright, I'm sorry. No, it's fine. Okay. Yeah, I think we're like too snuggly. It's like snuggly. It's causing feedback loops all over. I know. I can see them. Okay, like... You gotta back up. Whew. Yeah, that was... I know, I'm feeling it. Yeah, we better not. Yeah, it's... Maybe we're trying to access... Yeah, we're trying to access something.
In their TikTok live streams, they would lecture about these conditions and their inner world, presenting themselves as advocates of neurodiversity.
What else? Inner world. We don't have an inner world.
Yeah, why don't we have an inner world?
Yeah, because it's pointless.
Okay, how's an inner world pointless?
It just is. Why would we want to go to an inner world? Well, we can be right here with each other.
Because we just project each other like AR.
Yeah, it's like that game that you really, really like, but we haven't played together yet.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I'm like a Bulbasaur on this trash can.
A few minutes later.
No, we do have an inner world. We just don't use it like we just have decided.
Yeah, we tried that. Like we did the inner world where we had like a house, and the only problem is that when we went there,
yeah, when we switched out, we went there. It was boring. There was nothing to do. There's nobody else. That's the problem with two people. Is you go to the house, you're like, wow, this is fun. It's an empty room with a bunch of imaginary stuff.
Right, and you're just like,
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with it. I want to hang out with you and do cool stuff with you. Why would I want to like sit in a house, an empty house, all alone? It's just not for me, personally.
Fans sent them supportive comments and, reportedly, money through live gifts and donations, which Jessie James readily accepted. They were building a brand off this persona, potentially even selling merchandise or soliciting funds, all under the premise of being a rare two-soul DID system. Yet, even as their fame grew, red flags were apparent to those knowledgeable about DID and Tourette's. Suspicion in the DID community mounted quickly. Mental health advocates and actual diagnosed DID systems noticed that Two Souls One Bod's behavior did not align with known diagnostic criteria. For instance, they seem to be able to switch personalities on command for TikTok skits, whereas real dissociative identity switches are not party tricks.
these pants are,
Yeah. Is Halo this for?
yeah, they should be able to.
Yeah, well, I mean, like. Hey, you guys want to see his full body switch while walking?
Okay, this is not like a.
I know, but you know how it is.
Hopefully, like,
Oh yeah, hopefully things are going smoothly for everybody.
I don't know, how do we switch so quickly?
Oh, we almost glitched. Yeah, I felt that. Can we do the weird thing?
Well, how do we do the weird thing?
You know, where we just like bug the voice out.
You want to like just do the vocal cords?
Yeah, instead of doing a full body, can we just bug the vocal? Yeah, a little. You want to fight over him?
Yeah, let's fight.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Wait.
No, hold on.
Stop!
Okay. Okay, hold on. Let's not fight over the vocal cords.
Okay, hold on. Wait, what?
Oh, we almost clicked. I know, we almost glitched. That was weird.
I know, we almost glitched.
Okay, let's not do that.
Let's do that. And the other thing is, like, when we hear disorder or the word disorder, we jump on it like, oh, it's a bad thing, or that it's disordering your life, that it's but it's actually the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, I wouldn't give it up for the world now that I have it. It's the coolest thing ever. It's completely changed my life for the better. And I'm so glad that I have. Like,
They also spoke of having no childhood trauma initially, which made no sense for DID, since DID is understood to develop from severe early trauma, then later backtracked to claim they did have trauma once questioned. Likewise, their claimed Tourette's tics were exaggerated and inconsistent, coming off more like the stereotyped fake Tourette's seen in social media trends than genuine involuntary tics. Behind the scenes, some damning evidence emerged. Leaked voice calls of Jessie James talking to others in private reportedly showed that they would slip out of character and struggled to keep their story straight. In fact, Two Souls One Bod posted a wildly disturbing explanation that James, Tristan, was both Jessie's father and brother in a past life, essentially an incestuous backstory that rightfully horrified many people. The more they explained their system, the less credible and more grotesque it sounded, and they became a meme in the fake disorder cringe subculture online, and many ex-fans felt angry and betrayed, especially those in the DID community who felt Jessie and James were making a mockery of a serious disorder.
because I'm currently going through the process of getting diagnosed with DID. So that's right. What you see here on this TikTok is a DID journey. And I'm going to keep you guys updated with every doctor's appointment, with every single thing that's said or discussed. I mean, obviously, I have to keep some things private. But this is going to be an open, sort of take my personal life, splat it out there. And you guys will be able to follow along and see what it's like to get diagnosed with DID.
And why didn't you say this last month?
Well, I wanted to make sure that I had all my ducks in a row. I wanted to make sure that the appointments were set, the insurance would go through, and that everything was in order before going public with it.
Oh, that was very smart of you.
Yes. Even though I took a little bit of heat from it. And people were like questioning,
Alright. But you ultimately...
yeah, I ultimately had a plan. Now, I personally find this to be sort of, if it weren't for TikTok, I probably wouldn't go through these steps because I have a wonderful life with you and I don't feel the need to be diagnosed. And I think that's how it is for a lot of people with DID because it's, one, expensive, two, it's very time consuming, and depending on where you live, it can take years to get diagnosed. And I don't know how long my journey will take. All I know is that I'm on it. So these tags belong to me, they belong to the DID community, and we are your brothers and sisters if you belong to the DID community, and we're going through this, like, officially, as a DID diagnosis story.
And what if we get to the end, and they say, no, that's not what this is?
Well, then that's what it is. We don't care. Because ultimately, we're scientists and we search for the truth.
Facing growing backlash on TikTok, Jessie James attempted to regroup and hold on to their remaining supporters. They announced the creation of a Souls One Bod Discord server, framing it as a safe space for education on plurality and mental health. At first, a small team of volunteer admins and moderators, including individuals actually familiar with plurality and mental health, helped run the Discord server.
Don't you understand?
Okay, what I don't understand what the game is. Like, are we trying to fix the ship? Are we like
So,
are we trying to like?
Okay. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
So,
How does it work?
So
Like, 'cause
basically, you have one of two roles.
Okay.
In this case, we have two imposters. Your job is to make sure the crewmates don't get their tasks.
But one major concern was how the server handled content and minors. Jessie was an active sex worker, and she did not shy away from sexual discussion. Moderators grew alarmed that minors in the Discord were being exposed to sexual conversations and BDSM concepts.
You're saying that all the hate is like 100% just hate, but it's obviously from more than a place of hate.
Sure. We get that. Yeah, we totally understand that it's more than just like a little bit of hate. That the people are taking like personal histories and stuff. But we've also have our entire life documented. Yeah, we're not like it's not like we've like not documented everything. Yeah, we're bit scientists. Yeah, so we have pictures, videos, all the whole history. We have a whole history, and it's gonna take us time to like go into that history and get all the documents and everything and show everything off. So it's gonna take time.
Nobody cares about. People don't care about the history. They care about what you're doing right now to protect the minors in your server, and why are there even minors being connected. You say that you don't mention your work, but you mention it like, I don't know, 20 times.
I don't know what to tell you. I have tried so hard to keep my work out of what I'm doing here. And I can't help that I was, like, in my life, was forced to go into this line of work, and I didn't really feel like I had a whole lot of options, and that this was my best one. I can't help you that capitalist society is non-consensual, and everybody has to sing for their supper. Now, listen, I have tried my very best to keep this separate, but when people continue to come up on the stage and bring up my work and bring up all of this, you're directly creating the problem and spreading the information about my work and my job and everything else. No, I am done discussing my job on this stage. If you can't handle that, then leave the server. I have tried from the very beginning to keep these two things separate, and to have a personal life that's being shown on Souls One Bod, and a work life that I still have to do because I need to eat. This was supposed to be separate, and they continue to hammer me on it over and over and over again, literally creating the problem that they're complaining about. That this person's now getting in front of a whole room of minors and saying, "Let's talk about your work, Jessie." It's stupid. And if you're gonna come up here and talk about my job and complain that about minor safety, you're a dumbass. Okay, all right, that's enough. That's enough, Jessie. All right, calm down. Well, it is. Like, they don't want the work to be discussed, but they're actively talking about it. Yeah. All right. Okay, I got you. All right. So I'm just I'm a little fried. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. You come over here to the prefrontal cortex. You settle down. Okay. Now we'll scooch over. Okay. There you go. So you're fine. I'm sorry, dude. It's so fucking annoying. It's like, I don't have time for... I know. I've already got so much going on as it is. I know. And we're trying to manage everything. We're trying to do everything.
And then they have to, like, they come up here in front of minors and talk about it. It's stupid.
According to later testimonies, adults on the server were engaging in roleplay, albeit claimed SFW, with underage members, and explicit sexual topics were discussed around minors, which is wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
Why did it take days to address the accusations against a server member and leave them to defend themselves under heavy fire, was the question.
Oh, well, I just said to shut it down. I know, I don't know why you're asking it. Yeah, we just want to do it. Like, it's at this point, like, yeah, we'll have to, like, discuss it with the team, and we're gonna have to go through everything, and just, it's fine. Yeah. It's just how it is. Yeah. So, we're gonna be done for now, and we will come back to it. Yeah, we have to take time to get the truth out, and to figure out the strategy and do all that stuff. Yeah, so, and also live life, and still, like, yeah, manage life. So you're gonna have to be patient with us, and yeah, all your questions will be answered in time, but you're gonna have to be patient. All right.
A flashpoint came when Jessie suggested hosting sex education sessions on the Discord for their young followers, presumably to justify the sexual content. Most of the admin team strongly opposed this idea. They insisted that no education or content should be shared with minors unless there were proper age verification and qualified educators involved. Otherwise, it would be illegal and predatory.
On the subject of sexual education, we absolutely want to protect the safety of users and minors in this server. We also want to prevent attacks from outside this community and not give opposition and fake claimers any ammunition to cancel us. Several proposed the idea of classes or seminars run by certified sexual education teachers, and we really like this idea. Nameblurred is actually one of those certified individuals, and Nameblurred knows the ins and outs of Discord communities to navigate this difficult area. So again, we are letting Nameblurred handle this difficult area and make decisions about how this and any sexual education on this server is handled. If she says this is how it should be, that's how it should be. We will be continuing to keep an eye on this area, as we know how vital getting this right must be for the protection of our users, this server, and this movement.
We were one of the starting admins in the Discord server that was shut down, and want to share some of our experience with one-on-one interactions that we have had with J&J, what we call Annika, Jessie, Souls One Bod. We specifically helped with the bare-bones setting up of their server and implementing TikTok moderators for their live, as well as got removed from admin status, Discord mod team, and eventually the server as a whole when bringing up concerns that weren't even directed at them. We aren't sure how to go about sharing the information though, but are willing to provide our Discord username to those wanting to reach out, as some accounts are personal and some of our headmates wish to stay anonymous via aliases that we use on our TikTok account. We feel the more personal stories shared about how they treat people and what they allowed in their server, and this is why it was right to shut it down, will help really shed light on what kind of being they are, and just how harmful they are.
Over half the moderators and original admins, including the one later known by the nickname Dream, who had tried to protect minors, were kicked or banned from the server for raising concerns. To fill the gaps, Jessie and the new head admin brought in a number of deeply problematic people to join the staff. Some of them were reportedly known sexual predators that Jessie had connections with through her involvement in sex work. Basically, individuals who had no place moderating a teen-focused mental health space were suddenly given power. One former admin even described it as putting predators and Jessie's sex associates in charge, while anyone who raised concerns about minors being exposed to NSFW material was removed. The result was total chaos, like a Lord of the Flies situation where the ones meant to be managed were now the ones in control. But the exiled moderators didn't just disappear quietly. They regrouped outside the community and began working together to expose the lies and harmful behavior happening within the Souls One Bod server. That's how this very subreddit r/2souls1body was born, as a place to collect proof and warn others. They also created separate Discord servers focused on tracking TSOB's behavior, one private where an anonymous sibling of Tristan gave a detailed account, and one public for anyone looking for the truth. Meanwhile, things inside the main TSOB server continued to spiral even further out of control. Reports of outright surfaced. One of the newly appointed admins was caught actively grooming underage members, even allegedly planning to send a plush toy as a gift to a minor he was targeting. On top of that, moderators were sometimes intoxicated on voice chats with minors, and Jessie herself would discuss her fetish lifestyle openly in front of underage members. The entire server seemed to be operating on a vulnerable group of young people who have mental illness, as one whistleblower aptly summarized.
And you did. Yeah, I did. And then 5 years later, of course, I had it all figured out and understood what had happened, what had actually happened. Because all I was left with was the spirituality and like notebooks. Yes, just notebooks of notes and all of your research and all of your stuff. And that's like, I carried them around everywhere I moved. I just like had this big bucket or this big box of just all your stuff. And eventually I was able to piece everything together, understand the brain was autistic, that what I was seeing was a data bleed, that I was actually seeing the brain working, that I could actually like look around. And I was able to find James. And then I basically brought you back online, or or basically just, it's in the human sense, saved you, right? And then it took months. It took months and months and months. Yeah, and then of course, like in November, when we finally came out of denial, yeah, that was hard. I had to basically de-spiritualize him. I had to it was, because I was like, hey, here's the science. Here's what actually happened. I figured it out. This is how everything happened, why it happened the way it did. And now you have to be on board with this because you're now here. Yeah, I was like, you're now on this desert island with me and we have to survive. Yes. And you can't go into the spirituality thing. We have to be scientists about this, or otherwise this could be this could impact us. And this is just us, of course. Yeah, this could impact us in a certain way. Yeah, because there's no way to progress with that. Yes, the spiritually had to go. And so I was like, listen, here's the actual science. We need to follow this if we're going to be on this desert island for the rest of our lives, and we're going to do this together. Exactly. And it was very obvious. She was like a completely grown woman. She had lived a complex life, full of everything from a lot of things that I can't say because it would be very triggering, but I went through extreme abuse. And so, yeah.
Gosh,
By early 2022, the situation imploded. Whistleblowers from the evidence group launched raids into the Two Souls One Bod Discord, basically flooding it with warnings that the server leadership and Two Souls One Bod themselves were enabling misconduct toward minors. They pointed out how dangerous the space had become, which caused panic among regular members. Jessie, in her Jessie persona, bizarrely discussed these Discord problems during her live cam shows on Chatterbait, effectively broadcasting the drama to an even wider audience. It was a TikTok scandal. Eventually, Discord's trust and safety team intervened. The Two Souls One Bod server was reportedly nuked from within. Many of the admins were exposed as predators and banned. The rogue head admin was outed as having lied about her credentials, and even the technical admin quit and disappeared. With the Discord server shut down and a mountain of evidence compiled by former insiders, the stage was set for Two Souls One Bod's public reckoning. Ex-moderators and online activists published detailed Google Docs and Reddit threads exposing it all: the fake DID claims, fetish scams, racist remarks, and Discord grooming. Notably, an anonymous family member, Tristan's sibling, came forward with a disturbing testimony describing his predatory behavior years before the TikTok persona even existed, long before Jessie and James were created. Facing a tidal wave of allegations, Annika and Tristan, still going by Jessie and James online at that time, attempted a defense. They released their own lengthy response, Google Doc, which essentially denied wrongdoing and tried to discredit the accusers. In what can only be described as a highly manipulative move, they also included in their public statement, suggesting they might harm themselves if the hate did not stop. This was allegedly aimed particularly at the biological sibling who had spoken out, framing the backlash as literally putting their life at risk. Things hit a breaking point when a leaked phone call surfaced featuring Annika speaking as Jessie in conversation with some of the people gathering evidence. In the call, she guilt-tripped others, blamed victims, and even misgendered individuals who had been hurt, all while refusing to take real accountability. The takeaway was clear. Rather than owning up to the harm they caused, Souls One Bod seemed more focused on framing themselves as tragic casualties of cancel culture. By mid-2022, they vanished from the internet, seemingly trying to escape the tidal wave of backlash. As one Reddit user put it, eventually Two Souls was run off the internet under the weight of public anger and mounting proof. As of mid-2025, Annika and Tristan claim to be focusing on their personal lives. There are reports, unverified, that they are enrolled in college courses now. Online, they have not returned to TikTok or mainstream social media under the Two Souls One Bod persona. The damage to that brand is likely irreversible. Within communities that followed this saga, the pair are essentially persona non grata, remembered for egregious dishonesty and abuse of trust.
And if you thought that was bad, and it certainly was, check this out, where a TikToker with a large following decides to fake seizures, only to inevitably get called out, have Google Docs made about her, and for her fans to finally turn on her as well. You can click on screen or link in the description to watch that. It's pretty insane.